Welcome to Crowe Guitars, welcome to the building of BoB1, and welcome to the final episodes, the culmination of this insanity. The instrument is together. It is relatively solid. It's solid. It's not going to fall apart. I've been sanding it, and as I glanced at it, I thought I saw a massive crack. It was a shaving. It's fine. We're all good. I'm still obviously on tenterhooks here. In this episode, I am going to finalize the bridge, how the bridge is installed. I am going to finalize the wiring, the electronics. It is not going straight to jack. I mean, it was going to go straight to jack until everybody asked me, how are you going to do the electronics? And I thought, but I'm going to have to try and do something at least vaguely clever then. I'm going to fine sand it, although we're going to speed through that process as fast as humanly possible, and it will be lacquered and ready for the final stages. So, well, do not forget, you can currently win this guitar. If you're watching this video, basically as I put it out, there is still a competition going at crimsonguitars.com. Any order for through our website for our Luthier supplies, tools, training, we've got a guitar bending school, etc. All of that, any purchase of that enters you into a competition to win this guitar, and every £10 within that purchase is another order. So go do that. This whole sale thing was supposed to end 3 weeks ago when I was supposed to finish this guitar. As is ever the case, it went sideways on me. Okay, bridge. So, this is a fantastic hardtail bridge from Granger Guitars, UK made, just beautiful. It can have the strings going through the top or through body stringing, and I'm going to have it top mounted, but of course I have a very bitty body. I don't know. And what I have planned is that I'm going to take these bolts, put them through, all the way through, into a recessed brass threaded washer, so I suppose that's a nut then, really. And that will basically hold the bridge to the body. I'm not screwing it into the body itself because I don't want to drill through these tiny struts. Slivers of splintery wood. I'm going to be putting these in between the holes as much as possible, or in the gaps as much as possible. And I'm also going to have a slight recess. The bridge will be slightly recessed to stop any forward movement. And between those two things, this should be stable and strong enough to make this into an actual playable instrument. Woohoo! Ruler. So first things first, quadruple check positioning. This is a veneer saw, it's got a curve to it. Should make it slightly easier. And here we go, all, well, all fitted. I particularly like how the that angle there is matched by the angle of that strut. The whole thing, pretty cool. And that's a very small ledge there, but enough to hold the bridge in place. So the next stage is to figure out what we're doing with these bolts. And of course, they're all lined up. On a guitar with an actual top, this is a little bit easier. Okay, so that's my positioning. That's my center. My initial bolt needs to go through there. Now what I don't want to do is drill too much of a hole through there. There is very little tension on these in reality, but if I cut too big of a hole, a gap there, I will be in trouble. So, yeah. And also, if I do this, what that does is changes the spacing. The center one's not too much of an issue, but everything else is. Out you come. Okay, so I do need to make a slight adjustment there. Yay. While we're here, we might as well do the rest. Now comes the fun part. This one's right through the center of that strut. Now, if I move that strut out of the way, I change the entire look of the whole thing. It's not really good enough. That is also going almost entirely, slightly offset, but actually with the spacing equalized, it is bang into the center of that. These are the screws that come with it. Okay, that is a stainless steel. That's a stainless steel bolt going to a relatively big washer on the end, on the back. I'm happy enough that that is going to be strong enough to hold against the pressure of the strings. The question is, am I happy? No. See, this screw is the same thickness as that. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Okay, I've just been half an hour looking for lots of different screws and things, and turns out those little black things, those are the best option we've got. I was considering threading or tapping directly into the wood and using something else, something like that. But yeah, not so sure. With the holes drilled, bit of grease, we go in and basically use the screw to gently tap the hole. Haha! Success. All right. Yeah, that's absolutely strong enough. Nothing split. I'm a happy boy. Now, I suppose now I need to tap that. We have a guitar, guys. Okay, so I just need to put an M4 tap through the center of this, turning that into a bolt, a nut. An engineer I am not, and I need to find my taps. Perfect. Well, I'm fairly happy with that. All right, I am really happy with how this has turned out. I'm obviously going to have to polish up the head of the bolt to make it look prettier, and the nut as well, but the end result is some custom hardware, of which I'm rather proud. There we go, bridge, custom bridge plate. Something like that. Ugh, missed. And we're already partway through this video. Hoo-ha. Hoo-ha. Oh. Before we get to the final sanding, I want to fill these holes with something. And this aluminium tube is not putting very much pressure on it. And is, yeah, is going to do the job. So. I am fully caffeinated back and feeling a little bit naughty. Now, I originally thought that I would do the easy thing and basically not have any electrics. I'd just run a wire to a jack socket, which I was fairly confident would fit in the end, and be all right. But then everybody started asking, what are you going to do with the electronics? And I thought, well, I have to do something with the electronics now. This guitar lends itself absolutely perfectly to a side-mounted volume control. This is something I've not done before. However, we have at Crimson Guitars made a guitar like this before, and it's actually relatively straightforward when you have a normal guitar. We don't have that now. Chisel, hole, sorted. This is awkward. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do then, so essentially the thread is not quite as long as I would like. There we go. Not so bad actually. What I need to do is make a some sort of a control knob. Gosh, I like this guitar. Let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, jack socket, possibly there. Definitely there. Maybe there. No. Yeah, on the end, on the side. We don't want it going like that, do we? So we either have the cable shooting out like that, which would really, no, that absolutely would not work if you were sitting down playing. There it is. I'm going to start with a slightly smaller 19mm bit and go up to 22. And here we go. Quite frankly, I'm really rather happy with this. What I have to do is a good few hours of fine sanding. I'm going to take the entire instrument up to 240, maybe 320 grit paper. You do not need to see that, because you don't. It's boring and you've seen it all before. All right, you fantastic people, I am slightly dusty, and here is why. Every single part of this instrument has been sanded down, hard edges, and there are many, rounded over slightly, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. Still dusty. There we go. Shellac. I'm not entirely sure what that was named like that for, but hey. Okay, now the problem is we are going to spray this, which isn't a problem. We've got a very, very cool coating we're going to be playing with, but that's not going to get in between each one of these gaps. I'm going to hand apply shellac in between all of those quickly before it goes off to be sprayed, and the end result should be pleasing. Now, shellac as a finish goes with pretty much everything, and it dries really quickly as well. All right then, shellac is essentially a sanding sealer, and that is, well, that's it. I am going to basically sand the dried outer parts and take the instrument down to be sprayed by Josh. Fun times. It's coming to life, isn't it? And that is that. Thank you very much for watching. Please come back for the next episode, in which I will be installing the hardware, making a nut, putting the strings on, doing the wiring, making a custom control knob of some sort. I'm thinking UFO or satellite or something like that. And essentially this instrument is going to come to life. It is pretty much the last video in this series as the build. There will be a demo coming a little bit later, but, well, assuming the whole thing doesn't disintegrate, which I suppose is still a possibility, this instrument could be yours if you're watching this live as we upload the videos. It is midway through December now. The Christmas sale is still going if you order anything through crimsonguitars.com, be it a fret rubber or a fret leveling file or a fretting hammer. I'm stuck on the fretting tools. Or a guitar building course. You will be entered into a competition to win the guitar, and it could be yours. Click like, subscribe. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon.